Are men and women equal?
I think I'll have to say men and women are definitely equal.
Are they though? Are they? This conversation on equality has been muddied by fools, idiots and manipulators to the point where many people do not even want to have the conversation.
Okay, you guys are all just like really misogynistic.
Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
Any attempt to have this conversation on whether or not men and women are equal has the feminazis frothing at the mouth.
It's misogyny.
The Captain Saverhose coming out of the woodwork, all breathing fire.
This idea that women are inferior to you is crazy.
Brandishing pitchforks, calling for the total annihilation of the person who even dares challenge their dogma. Well, seeing as I love poking the bear, I thought to myself, why not?
Hold up. Wait a minute.
If this is your first time here, I hope that you like the video enough to give me a subscribe. However, if you have been watching my content and haven't subscribed, this is what is in store for you in the near future. Without wasting much time, let's get into the content.
Action!
Contrary to popular opinion, women are not equal to men. Many will argue that that is not the case. However, I ask you to listen to what they say and watch how they act, and you will agree with me that those who shout the loudest that women are equal to men will be the ones whose actions tell the opposite story. So essentially, actions speak louder than words.
You lying ass bitch.
If you have gotten to this part of the video, I would like to invite you to smash the like button. It helps with the algorithm. To support my claim that women are not equal to men, I will present evidence from the following areas. Number 1, law enforcement. And in this one we'll look at arrests in domestic violence cases. In most domestic violence cases, if the man or the woman calls the police, the man is most likely to be the one arrested, even though women also perpetrate domestic violence. This is what an article which was published in Lobolo says. The title of the article is When Men Are Charged with Domestic Violence Despite Women Being the Real Perpetrators. Subtitle, Bias Against Men in DV Cases. When we hear about domestic violence, women are usually thought of as the victims, and often that is accurate. But it's just not always a one-way street. Men are victims of DV too, but fear they will not be believed if they report it or seek help. Unlike women, men know there is a good chance they will be viewed as pitiful and feeble, if not as liars. In cases where men are physically bigger and stronger than his intimate partner, it may be difficult to believe he's being abused. Even so, men do experience violence from domestic partners with alarming frequency and often have trouble finding someone to believe them. There are hundreds of studies confirming that when relationships are violent, women are just as likely to be the aggressor as men. In fact, about 40% of reports of serious violence involving former or current partners are filed by men, in most cases involving an attack by women. Despite these studies, when police are called to the scene of a domestic dispute, they are more likely to arrest both individuals when only dealing with same-sex couples. Conversely, men are arrested when police intervene in cases involving heterosexual couples. When it comes to securing a protective order, women are much more successful than men. Finally, mock juries are more likely to assign blame to men than to women when presented with identical violent scenarios, even when switching up which partner is the perpetrator of the violence in the scenario. Part B, or the second part, is lighter sentences. And we get this from journalist resource. Title, Are Criminal Courts More Lenient to Women? Sometimes, however, gender stereotypes benefit women, particularly in the area of criminal justice. Scholars have found that women receive shorter sentences for sex crime than men. A 2014 study suggests that federal courts are more lenient on female defendants in general. This is an American study. They are less likely to incarcerate women and tend to give women shorter sentences than men. A 2015 study published in the Journal of Criminal Justice titled From Initial Appearance to Sentencing, Do Female Defendants Experience Disparate Treatment? Takes a broader look at gender disparities within the criminal justice system. The 4 researchers explored outcomes at 2 key stages of the criminal justice processes. They examined decisions that judges made at a defendant's first appearance, hearing, and during sentencing. Previous studies had investigated gender disparities in judicial decisions connected with only one of those 2 events, potentially neglecting the interaction of the outcomes of each phase. The researchers analyzed 3,593 felony cases that had been referred in 2009 to the county office of the prosecutor of a large urban jurisdiction in the northern United States. Findings include: 1. Women were less likely to be detained before trial. They were 46% less likely than men to be held in jails prior to a trial. 2. Women who were released on bond were given lower bond amounts. Their bonds were set at amounts that were 54% lower than what men were required to pay. 3. Women were 58% less likely to be sentenced to prison. The second part I want us to look at is the societal behaviors and norms. And part 1 is the women and children first doctrine. In terms of disasters, where the society is affected that require rescue, the women and children are given first priority.
For the time being, I shall require only women and children.
No matter how much the society pretends that women are equal to men, this action informs us that they are not. A good example is the Ukraine-Russia conflict. And this is something which was very recent, I think 2020, 2022 there. Fighting age Ukrainian men were ordered by their government to stay behind as tens of thousands of civilians were allowed to evacuate. How can women be equal to men if women and children are evacuated while men are funneled to war where they will most likely die? Interestingly, despite this clearly misogynistic
It's misogyny.
action, no feminist in Ukraine demanded to be given equal treatment and be sent to the front lines. No feminist did that. And not even that, despite there being 3-4 years time passing, right now we are in 2025, I've not seen any international feminist organization which has claimed their right to be in the front lines and die. I have not seen feminist organizations funneling women to the front lines, fighting for their own equality. Therefore, it seems like they all agreed that actually women were not equal to men. This exposed their hypocrisy and their lies. Therefore, the conclusion is that actually, women are not equal to men.
How dare you?
And on the second part regarding societal behaviors and norms, I want us to look at the I want a provider male phenomena.
I see a rich man in your future.
Crack is cheap.
If you've spent enough time in the online streets, you will have come across the debates between men and women regarding 50-50 relationship and the provider male. You will have gotten the strong dislike among females regarding the 50-50 dating rule. On this, it seems that the feminists quickly forget that they are equal to men and want to be treated special. They will give lip service about how they want a partner, but when the bill comes, on the date, they will quickly rework that butch cut into pigtails and claim, I am just a woman, I shouldn't pay on the first date.
I don't want to go 50-50. Hey, sorry.
This seems to be the only issue that male feminists and female feminists disagree on. Because male feminists are all about 50-50. But their female counterparts are like,
What did you say, nigga?
This I want a provider male feminists sometimes pretend they want equality, but we increasingly see them pop up on our feeds complaining how they do not want 50-50 anymore.
You can call it heteronormative if you want. I don't give a fuck.
It is especially bad to those who are married to male feminists, who insist on true partnership. Many of these women are not happy. Also, the divorce rate among modern couples, most of whom are drunk from the feminist Delulu juice, are higher than those of the more traditional couples. And now, I believe you can look at the divorce rates and you can see what I'm trying to say. I know some people will claim that feminist is not a causation, but the correlation is so strong that after the feminist movement gained traction and was spread and was, like generally accepted.
Did you know that gender equality benefits everyone?
We live in a world where now that is the default. It's either, if it is not a causation, then it is a very strong correlate. I know many feminists will disagree with the points that I have made as to why women are not equal to men.
It's misogyny.
I welcome them to rebut my claims, and if they are feeling confident about their claims, I am even ready for a formal debate. You can DM me in my socials, which will be included in the description of the video. Thank you. See you in the next one. Subscribe to the channel, if not...